Hello, and welcome back to 7th Crown Tarot. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. My name is Louise, and today I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading on what the rest of your year is going to look like, seeing as we're entering into the next year coming up here, right? So what is this last month and a half-ish going to look like for you? I'm going to find that out as soon as I can light my incense cone here. And I just took the powder from some Palo Santo, Nakchampa that I had left over, and I compressed it into this little triangle. So if you have some left over on the bottom of your package, don't throw it out. I mean, if you want to, you can, but I like to keep them because I found out that I can do this instead, and now I have a little incense cone. Okay, so let's pop that back here. Alright, perfect. So I'm going to show you 3 different feathers, and depending on which feather you feel drawn to, or maybe use a random number generator for 1, 2, or 3, that will be your reading. So what is it that the rest of your year is going to look like? Can you even see that? That's okay. All right, so for pile number 1, you have this stunning feather here. I'm not even sure what bird species this is, but very cool. Back of it looks like that. Pile number 2, you have this crow feather. Again, very cool. Love this one. Very elegant. And for pile number 3, you have this lovely owl's feather. And that's the back. So choose your pile, and whatever you choose, that will be your pile. So this is pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Alright, see you at your pile. Okay, so pile number 1, you chose this feather here. When I was shuffling the deck for this reading, when I was just before this pile, I got the message of a song that might be relevant to whatever love situation you're going through, and the lines go, "That's just the way it is. Nothing will ever be the same." I think it's like a 90s or a 2000s song. I'll link it down below, and feel free to take a look at that. Okay, so I'm going to be splitting this up into finances and career, health, and love. Those are the main areas. So this is going to start with love. Could you tell me more about pile 1's love life for the rest of the year? Could you tell me about pile 1's love life for the rest of the year? Please, Spirit, could you tell me about pile 1's love life for the rest of 2024? Ooh. It looks like karma is going to be reaped. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is specifically a November thing, but it seems like it's going to be specific to the month of November. What I meant by that is I'm not sure if it's a general energy for the month of November for everybody, or if it's just for you. Oh my goodness. Okay, you wouldn't believe this. I guess you might, but look at this. A Queen of Swords. Somebody who was really harsh with their words, probably in a toxic feminine like vibration, or they're just like a really toxic person. And this can be a male too. Like, this doesn't have to be a woman. This could be a guy. Someone that hurt you really badly. At least like 3 times. Like, it just kept happening. It was a cycle. They will be getting some sort of karmic justice in this month. So why are you mentioning this, Spirit? Why are you mentioning this? 5 of Swords. To get you out of some sort of victim mentality, or maybe it's to... Because I don't want to focus too much on this person. But it does seem like you're witnessing something happening because of whatever they did to you specifically. Like, maybe this person went after you. Like some sort of psychological manipulation or some sort of psychological battle that they were having. But you weren't actually in this battle that they were trying to like create between you two. But that doesn't mean that they don't get karma for it. Like, just because like you're kind of dusting it under the rug, I'm sensing, that doesn't mean that it just gets to go unseen by the divine. Because we did get justice here, and she's holding this sword. This is like that Saturnian vibe. Of like, you reap what you sow. So it's like, this is almost like a time of harvest for everybody. So it's a time of harvest for you too. There could be a new door opening for you, or maybe you're just deciding to walk away from whatever this person did to you, and you're turning it into, you're choosing to be like abundant because of it, instead of staying in these like negative thoughts for the rest of the year. You're really going to be turning, like, what's that expression, like lead to gold or something like that. Like, you're alchemizing whatever this is, and it's going to lead to a lot of new opportunities for you. Anything else in love for pile number 1? You're really going to be putting yourself out there is what I see. This could be friendships if you're already in a relationship, but if you're not in a relationship yet, I see you bumping into somebody very important. This person is going to have a very heightened sense of intuition, or maybe your intuition is going to be telling you that this person is special in some way, because they'll be genuine about their emotions and vulnerable, but not in a way where they're like love bombing you, in a way more where they're trying to cast out like a little bit of bait, kind of, to see if you're their type, or if you're their type, so they gave you a little bit of information about something that they really like, that might be something that not everybody might like. That's a very specific message out there. You're not going to be making a decision on this person just yet, on if this is your case. You're going to be taking things slow with this person, and that's how you'll know that this is, or maybe they'll be taking things slowly with you. You'll know that this is that person because of it. Because yes, they'll be quite vulnerable with you, but at the same time, they will hold back and not put all their eggs in one basket. Could you give me more information if this is not the case for this person? Maybe someone already has a spouse or a partner. You're going to be working very hard for the rest of the year. You're going to be feeling very productive, and now is not the time to make any sudden changes in how you're working. So I guess we're going into finances and career now, because it's turning into that. Okay, so let's go into finances and career, Spirit. So what about pile number 1's finances and career for the rest of 2024? You're going to be building solid foundations for yourself. Something that you already know is going to work. Something you don't mind working hard at. And we got the Star and the King of Pentacles. Just one moment. I'm going to open the door a little bit because this incense is getting a little incensey. Okay, so back. You got the Star and the King of Pentacles after the Eight of Pentacles. You're really going to be seen for what you're working on here. So you'll be seeing a lot of prosperity here for the rest of the year. You got the Star, right? So the Star, you could be seeing a lot of attention for the rest of the year. A lot of eyes on you. Which is where all this abundance is coming from. I also get that you'll be creating multiple streams of income, which will, or this could be guidance to create more income. Maybe Spirit wants you to invest in a few different places so that people have many ways to contribute to your wealth. Whatever that looks like for you, it's going to be different for everybody. But I'm getting here with the Sun that you definitely deserve this, and people can see this, because you give a lot of light to people's lives. You make people feel free again, and I think that's a sense of hope is something that everybody wants. And if you can give people a sense of hope, if they can come to you to recharge, that's worth something. It might not seem like the same kind of worth as, let's say, a Rolex watch, or, you know, some brand name something, right? Or like a car. But all those things would mean nothing without peace of mind. And I think that you give something that's so priceless, which is peace of mind, something that everybody wants access to. Perhaps you'll be creating some resource that helps give people peace of mind. Whatever the case, whatever you're going to be creating, it seems like it all stems from one core point or core skill that you possess, that you're brought here to give to the world. And so, because you're acting in accordance with that, with your divine calling, things are just flowing to you. So that's really good. I'm actually really happy with this, because also when we look at the Sun, if we think about the Sun, we think of it as like an unlimited energy source. I mean, until the sun goes out, but when the sun goes out, then we die, right? And there's also this fact that's popping into my head about how there's some really weird mathematical thing that happens with the distance between the sun and the earth, and the size of the moon and the sun. The ratio's like 1/400th or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there's something here where you're really enchanting to look at, and that's part of what's bringing you in money. And Spirit wants you to leverage that. Leverage this. This is a gift you've been given. And you might currently be kind of hiding away and working a lot on whatever it is that you're doing, but Spirit doesn't want you to hide away. Because that's kind of like you're worried about what money is going to come in, and so you're hiding away from being seen. And Spirit doesn't want to do that. Spirit doesn't want you to do that. It needs to be like a balance. Because I'm seeing here a guy who's kind of, and you could be a guy, a girl, whatever. A guy who's like sitting away, working on his stuff, and then out in the world, very vulnerable. And then again, kind of recluse, hermit mode, and then again, vulnerable. Because it goes clothed nudity, clothed nudity. So, okay, so what about your health? What does your health look like for the rest of 2024 for pile number 1? What does pile number 1's health look like for the rest of 2024, Spirit? Very balanced. You got the 2 of Cups. I see you, ooh, and the Ace of Cups. I see you taking a lot of time out of your life, drinking a lot of water, taking a lot of care of yourself. So this is like a lot of self-care. Self-care can be so many different things. It could be going on bike rides. It could be, I mean, it's kind of getting winter, so maybe it's like indoor bike rides. Maybe it's going on cold walks. Maybe it's going to the gym, if you go to the gym. Whatever it is that you do, I see the rest of 2024 being a time where you're really paying attention to your health, eating properly, and maybe even doing this with one other person, holding each other accountable. Page of Swords, Temperance. If this is going somewhere. Okay. There's something unaddressed here. It could be some sort of health problem that you have on your mind that you're kind of right now feeling burdened by, and you're not seeking help for it. It's not as bad as you think it is. And you shouldn't be carrying this all on your own. You should be seeking help. So this could be going to a doctor or something. Maybe there's some sort of like health issue that's been looming in your head for a while. Try to set a date to it. That's something that I personally also need to do. Go to the dentist and the doctors. But it's such a hard thing to do, you know? Sometimes this is just like, you need a reminder, and this is what's really coming up in your reading. That maybe you also have a little bit of trauma from going to the doctors, because I see this card here, the 5 of Cups. And it's preventing you from doing that, and you're kind of overthinking it right now. Funny enough, I actually also see a little bit of a love message here, and I guess love can also be health. So I see that your love life is going to be improving vastly in the end of this year. So maybe for a little bit of time there, you felt a little bit disconnected or there was sorrow. Well, that's not going to be the case anymore. I see this this flow of energy returning. So there's going to be a flow of energy returning into your life, which is going to lend more health to both of you. And, when you're healthier, physically, mentally, that's good health. All right, well, that was your reading, pile number 1. Let's see if we can get any final messages from your person before I end off. I've got this Lover's Oracle deck. What is it that pile number 1's love life is going to look like? Even if you don't have a person, like maybe you're looking for a person, maybe somebody's on your mind. This doesn't have to be romantic, this could be anybody. Somebody here is struggling with some sort of addiction and feeling lost. This person that's struggling with feeling lost is scared that you'll leave them in a time where they're going through dark times. But as we can see here, things are getting better. So something here is going to happen in this person's life, I'm feeling like. That they're going to give up this sense of having to carry everything on their shoulders. And they're going to reach out to somebody. This last card is kind of confusing me because it says, the way I've treated you was wrong. And it was in the reverse. Maybe this person's in denial about how they've hurt you, or how they're causing their own demise, how they're causing their own pain or the pain of others. But for them right now, it's just hard enough to admit that it hurt themselves, because I'm getting a weird side tangent message. Whoever this is, they're very they're selfless, but to a point, to a fault, where they're selfless, but it's as a trauma response. So they don't give to themselves, and that's why they cope with alcohol and drugs. Or, well, that's what it says, alcohol and drugs, but it doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol and drugs. It could be whatever vice they have. Maybe they eat a lot of junk food. Maybe they consume a lot of media to distract themselves. It could be so many different things. Any kind of obsessive overconsumption of anything is not going to be good. And this person does this in order to escape their own thoughts. They do need help for this. And I do get that they're going to reach out for this. I'm not telling you to wait, because I would never tell anybody to wait. I don't think that anybody should wait. But if you feel I'm just gonna say that you need to trust your intuition no matter what you do in life. So whatever you feel is the right call for you is, follow that. And don't let anybody shame you into thinking that you're doing the wrong thing, because that's just stupid. It's not their life. Right? Okay, so that was your reading, pile number 1. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a good evening, good morning, good night, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay, bye! Okay, pile number 2. You chose this beautiful black crow's feather. So what is it that pile number 2 needs to know about their love life for the end of 2024? What is it that pile number 2 needs to know for the end of their love life for 2022? Thank you for being here, by the way. Pile number 2, end of 2024, your love life. Seems like there's something that you're resisting here. You could be trapped in a lot of like negative thought patterns. And it's funny because we got the Hanged Man in the beginning of the reading, and then the rest of them are reversals. But it almost looks like they're all reversals because of the Hanged Man. So there's something to be understood about this period of time right now. There's a need to reassess worth, and there's also something here that, like, some sort of opportunity here that's tangible that you're being given. What is this tangible opportunity that pile number 2 is being given in love or relationships, whatever this is? Someone coming towards you with an offer. But I feel like uncertainty, a little bit of apprehension maybe. Maybe you feel like you can't handle it for some reason. Maybe it's kind of scary to think about becoming vulnerable in a new way. It could be that you're not used to giving to people in the way that you're starting to give to people. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe it's not someone coming towards you. Maybe it's you coming towards somebody. But you feel like whatever it is that you have to offer, it's not enough. Because you're a beginner at expressing yourself emotionally, and it could be because of trauma. I do get the 6 of Cups in reverse, and that's like childhood wounding for me. Right next to the Empress in reverse. Someone that didn't really have a lot to give to you as a kid, and because of that, you kind of struggle to give to other people. You live in fear of, like, are they gonna take it from me? But you have to give from a place of your cup overfilling, rather than feeling like love is gonna take something from you. So maybe you're not at that point yet. Maybe you're just not ready to give just yet. And you need to realize that it's not so much, or if you already feel like you're at that place where you're ready to give, maybe it's more so about doing it anyway. You know, being loving anyway. And allowing people to see parts of you and expressing when it's scary for you. That was a wasp. And it's like, you know, like, you don't have to freak out. You don't have to freak out. You just observe. And nothing will happen. It's when you freak out that a wasp stings you, right? Because that's when you start, like, swatting at it and attacking it. And that's kind of the same with love. When you love and you express that it's, like, scary for you, the person is more likely to bring you in closer and or just try to understand you, especially if they're a good person. But if they're not a good person, then yeah, they'll show that they're gonna manipulate you. But I think that you already have a good sense of what that manipulation looks like, and so you shouldn't be afraid of opening yourself up again when you feel ready to. You know, like, there's no rush. There's never any rush. Apologies for the lighting. I know that the light is starting to kind of dim quite a bit because of daylight savings. Yeah, you're definitely, for the rest of 2024, ooh, okay. I see you following your intuition and getting away. Okay, maybe this is what it is. I see now. So there's someone in your life currently. It could be a mother figure. It could be like a parent. It could be somebody who acts like a parental figure. But they're hurting you constantly. And because of this, you've shut out your heart. You've stopped allowing people in, or maybe you've been afraid to let more people in. And you're gonna sense that it's time to leave. So at the end of 2024, I see a move for you from wherever it is that you're living right now. And I know maybe you're like, how could I possibly do that? Like, I don't have the money right now. But this is all in divine timing, and you're supposed to be taken out of this. You're supposed to see a new perspective, that the situation that you're currently in is one that is keeping you stuck, and also one where you can't heal. So Spirit's gonna take you out of this. Anything else in love? Because now I'm curious. Anything else in love? Yeah, this person makes you feel really stuck. Got the 8 of Swords. When you're not really stuck, that's the problem. This person is siphoning abundance from you. And this could be in the form of emotional abundance. Maybe they're a very lonely person. Maybe they're a very sad person. Maybe they're somebody that feels like they just, you know, They fall short in life in whatever way. And so they take the people that are closest to them, that have the most potential, and they try to squish them. But I see you getting away from that. And it's going to start small. It's going to start in a way that you might not exactly expect. There could be some sort of message that comes in here. Or it could be an idea that kind of comes to you from the ethers. Of, hey, what if you do this? Hey, what if you take this job here? And this person is definitely going to react poorly, so expect that, because they're gonna feel like you were planning something behind closed doors. But the reality is that this all just kind of is going to fall onto your lap. You might end up speaking to somebody that has a lot of insight into how to get out of these situations because they've been in them themselves, or they're gonna see your potential and they're gonna be like, that person shouldn't, like, I'm gonna take them under my wing, or I'm gonna give them advice for free, and it's gonna be a very valuable piece of advice, perhaps, let's say. And this ties into love because, well, I mean, if you're getting away from something that is draining you, then confirmation. I don't know if you heard that that honk. Oh, look at that. You're going to be victorious in this situation, and you're going to feel so free when you're out of it. This person doesn't deserve your energy. I'm sorry, but they don't. Because they were trying to get it by stealing from you. And that's not a true friend. That's not... I don't know if this is a friend. Maybe it's a parent. That's not love, you know? So I see the very end of this year, somehow you're going to be free of this, or, you know, that door is going to start opening for you, and you're going to see that the end is like right there, and you're going to see, you know, my God, I can finally leave this shitty situation. So that's love for you. Now we're going to move into career and finances. So what does career and finances look like for pile number 2? Let's see if I can mix these around a little bit. Okay. Career and finances for pile number 2, please. Career and finances for pile number 2. That's good. You got the Queen of Pentacles, and one that I can't see yet. Anything else for... Okay, that's what they want for now. Page of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. It seems like a promising new beginning. One that... So you're going to be focusing on the right things at the end of 2024. Things will definitely feel like they make sense. There's a real sense of maturity here too, on your end. A lot of planning too. So if you're struggling with finances right now, which I do get that you might be, like maybe you have like maybe you have a debt that you're trying to pay off, and you're finally going to have a structure in place and an actual tangible way for you to be able to pay off that debt. And it's going to make sense. Like at first it's going to feel like I'm not really sure if I can do this. Like this seems like such like a large task to take on. But then as you go along with the plan, you're going to get really confident. Because this is going to turn into something else. So this is the message. So whatever it is that you're using to pay off this debt that you have, or maybe it's something big that you're saving up for, whatever it is that you're aiming towards at the end of the year that you've been kind of procrastinating on, it's going to lead to something much bigger, because it's actually going to take you up into this, maybe it's another tax bracket, maybe it's just like this ideal version of yourself that allows you to reap so much without really putting too much effort in. That's pretty interesting. So you go from not having a lot to having way more than you could possibly need. And part of it comes from this past situation. So you'll start to see that this past situation actually not only was taking away from your happiness, but it was also taking away from your finances. Because when you're unhappy and when your life is shitty and you're always distracted by shitty people who are creating drama, guess what's going to happen? Your finances are going to really take a hit. Your health is going to take a hit. Everything is going to take a hit. You'll look less attractive. When you're in really bad relationships, you look less attractive. And so this also tells me that you're going to look a lot more attractive in like this end of 2024, maybe beginning of 2025. You'll be experiencing like a glow up. There's like this transition that you're going to be going through. But it definitely looks really promising. So, speaking of health, we already got like a little bit of information there about your health. But what is your health going to look like for the end of 2024? One card came out. There's something here about like reaping the rewards of whatever it is that you've sown. And I'm getting here that it's like you've collaborated with more people than just yourself. Like it's more than just you. With the Three of Cups, it feels like your health is going to be something that you work towards, but maybe with a group of people. So maybe you have like a group of really good friends that you go to the gym with. Maybe it's like a group of friends that you come together and you do like a little healthy potluck with. Maybe you have some like friends that you farm with, and you all trade goods that you farmed over the summer. Maybe right now you're doing like root vegetables, right? Because it's fall. There's something here about like bartering and like trading goods here as like a community. So coming together as a community to be healthy. You could also be doing a lot of research on what it is that's gonna make you healthier, like small actions that have like large consequences, and consequences can be positive. So I definitely see you also reconnecting with people maybe people from your past, but people who you have a lot of good memories with. And this almost like making peace with your childhood. So this is like mental health. I think that was a police siren. And we also have, we have justice too. So somebody who used their influence and power for bad. What does that mean? Maybe you'll be kind of like worried, but Spirit doesn't want you to worry about this person coming after you or trying to rope you back into some worries, because we did get the Nine of Swords, and it has something to do with reconnecting to the parts of your childhood maybe that you really liked, or maybe it's people in your childhood, maybe this person that is toxic that you're getting away from in the end of December 2024. Yeah, they could be trying to pin people against you, but they can't escape this justice. And we did get justice in the first card too, not the first card, the first pile. So I do get that this is a running theme so far, that justice is happening in our collective right now. So whatever you reap, you're gonna sow. It's the season of that. Anything else for health? For my pile number 2? It's funny, I looked at finances and then the Ace of Pentacles popped out. I see that you're gonna be getting a lot of benefits from whatever health things that you're gonna be implementing. So whether it be, okay, now I get it. You're gonna be implementing new routines. And these new routines are actually as a result of you making decisions on this toxic situation that's in your life. You'll have space in order to create new routines. And these new routines will be very beneficial for you to ground yourself in the now, to ground yourself in abundance and an abundant mindset. So you'll be able to really balance things out at the end of 2024 and finally start to feel like things are calm again and you're no longer being like spied on almost and like tried for like people to try to control you. It's good judgment and justice. Sorry, I'm just thinking about what this would mean for you. You're being very practical right now with your goals. And it's allowing you to to like hear what you need to hear from spirit. And like what I mean by that is like you're channeling the energy. So you're really falling into line with your energy centers. Like things are starting to balance out. You're lighting up each chakra and like, you know, really awakening everything. So you could also be going through a lot of healing. Because I did get this one, I almost also feel like you could be healing your sacral chakra, which is a sense of home. And that would make sense because if you're leaving a place that felt unstable or leaving a relationship that felt really unstable, then you finally have that chance to heal that part of yourself that feels very scared and unstable and unwelcome and like, you know, so that's going to really contribute positively to your health. And it's going to allow you to, like we said, like create new routines that then you can build off of and create routines off of that. It's going to start like a, what's the word? Like a domino effect. So that was your pile number 2. And I hope that helped you in some way. If this is where I leave you, have a good morning, good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay, bye. Okay, pile number 3. You chose this stunning owl feather. I think this might be a wing feather. It's really pretty. I think that's actually my favorite. Okay, so let's start with love. Pile number 3, what does love look like for the rest of 2024? For pile number 3. For the rest of 2024. Oh. I'll tell you why I said ooh in a second. Love for pile number 3 for 2024. Okay, so it looks like you might be a little bit heartbroken. Maybe you're currently feeling this way, but it almost feels like there's a real sense of like loneliness here. And it almost feels like, you know, like you can't really depend on anyone, or things are just not quite going your way, or you couldn't fully trust somebody, and so you had to count your losses, get up and go, because you're this abundant energy here. You're the Empress, and an Empress can't just keep having her heart broken again and again and again, because that's what was happening here. There was something here where you were being disrespected. Maybe the person just made you carry all of these wands for them, and so you're just like, well, if you're gonna make me carry them anyway, then I'm gone. Because you would carry these ones for them, and you got nothing. You got nothing in return. and they turned you into a beggar. So that's the story I'm getting with that. Could you tell me more? But it's funny because it's like, well, who's the beggar in this situation then? If I'm the one giving to you. So who knows where this person is now in your story? Maybe they're still in your life. Maybe they're about to not be. This could signal a breakup. If you're contemplating that, this might happen at the end of 2024. And, you know, if this is your situation, then I would say you're definitely better off without them. Because, and obviously this is just tarot. So, like, I'm not making your decisions for you. I'm saying, this is entertainment. And, definitely think for yourself. But it seems like you don't deserve to feel this way. You deserve equal give and take. You deserve somebody who will carry the load with you. And there's quick movement away from whatever this situation is. Because we did get... I do not know what that sound was. But it was very freaky. It freaked me out. Ace of Wands is what you got. Is it raining? Or is it... It just started raining. It just started raining when I did a reading. There's a lot of sadness here. Wow. But this had to happen. This had to happen. It's like this like really painful realization of like, it's never gonna be what I wanted it to be, like what I wanted this relationship to be. And you know, this doesn't have to be romantic. This could be a relationship that's platonic. It could be your parent. And it's like, it comes in waves. Like these feelings, they come in waves because the rain is kind of stopping, starting. Like it's the kind of thing where it's like bittersweet. Like you're sad, but not entirely, because it's like you have to experience these feelings in order to be the abundant empress that you are. You have to make the decision to walk away. So at the end of 2024, you're going to make a very, very difficult decision. Or maybe you just made that decision to walk away into the unknown by yourself. But you know, we're never alone when we go into the unknown. We're always followed by angels. So you never have to worry about that. The way that card fell out was really neat. It like drifted out. There's a little bit of like strategy here that's happening. Like maybe on your way out, you're really strategically doing it, not saying much, and you're just kind of doing it. So the people that you're getting away from, I do get it that it's one person, but obviously just put it to your situation how it fits. They could be extremely manipulative and maybe just like really, I don't want to say smart, because some people like aren't exactly that smart. maybe this person thinks they're smart and they're not actually. They just like to put up that image that they're smart. That's a message for somebody. Maybe they portray that they're smart. Anyway. But you're here after so much effort, still standing so tall. You win. Like, you win. In this situation, you win and they lose. Because this person has no control over their emotions, and you have all control over your emotions because you have been studying them. So I do get that this person is very impulsive, and although they are manipulative, they're also they're weak. They're weak in that they're not able to listen to their higher selves because they act from a very lower self perspective. And so they can't think too far ahead. Let's just say that. The Hierophant. And the Five of Swords in reverse. There's some sort... Oh my goodness. So you really turn the tables... Okay, this part of the reading is really interesting for me. The other two piles, by the way, very different piles. Like, every single one of these has been very different. These could be different parts of your life that I'm explaining. But so interesting how different the piles have been this time. You've got some sort of authority on this person, and that's why they can't beat you. They saw that you had authority, but they tried to trick you out of it. And this is where this person went wrong. Because eventually, like, I don't know why they didn't think about this, but eventually you're gonna see through their games. And when you do, like, you're a dangerous person. Like, you're the wrong one to fuck with, basically. Because, no, you're not going to enact any kind of justice, but that doesn't mean that your ancestors and all of the spirits that surround you will not. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean to feed into delusions, but, like, I almost get the sense that, like, you're very highly protected because, or maybe it's also like this karma that you leave it up to God. Like, you live and let live type of thing, where it's like, if someone does you wrong, you step back and you don't necessarily enact any kind of karmic justice. You let the universe do that. You let them take care of it. And I think this person doesn't understand the basic principles of existence. They live very much so in the physical world. But you understand beyond that, and so you can bring things from the ether to the physical plane. So much so that now, for the rest of 2024, you're going to have options coming up left, right, and center for you. And these options are all going to be very obvious. It's going to be obvious which one's which, right? You're going to see which one's the snake, which one is the dragon, which one is the victorious crown, and you're going to be like, I want that one, right? Okay, so I think that's it for love for you. Pile number 3, very interesting. You're definitely going through like a giant transition with your love life. And I've been through one of these transitions before, like a few times. And every time when I come out of it, I come out so strong. Like, it's so cool. So excited for that for you. So now let's look at your finances and career. What does your finances and career look like? Pile number 3. Pile number 3, what do your finances and career look like? Look at that. the very first card we got, Ace of Pentacles, and that's the dominant energy. So it looks like dominant energy is that you're going to be very lucky. There's this luck that's coming into your life. But I think it's just like a trade-off of energy. So you're going to be giving up one thing that obviously wasn't for you anymore. You're going to be rewarded by seeing that it wasn't for you, essentially. Spirit wants to give you like a little, congratulations for seeing that something isn't for you and not allowing it to stay in your life because it was stealing from you. This past situation, this past vibration, whatever it was that was in your life. And Page of Swords and Chariot. There's a lot of like you're gonna be really intensely going towards this thing. You're like, I have to do everything now, all at once. But I think Spirit wants you to just kind of chill and slow down and maybe just like build one thing at a time instead of like doing it all at once, because it's like an amateur approach. This thing isn't going anywhere. This gift that universe is giving you, it's not going anywhere. It's here to be explored, for you to enjoy it, and for you to learn a new part of yourself. And I also get that it's linked to your destiny. Somewhat of like a showy energy here. Try not to brag about it either. Don't be too braggy about it. Maybe this is also how you'll be like rubbing people, going into like this new thing that you'll be getting. It's like a new idea. You grab hold of a new idea and you go with it. And I think for some people, they might see you as like, oh, like all of a sudden they think that they're better than me or whatever, right? But if we look at these two cards side by side, they kind of give me like a similar vibe. You know what I mean? Like this one's on like a chariot, like, you know, he's a chariot. And this one is, he's just like on a little spirit horse, right? So this is who you are. This is how you genuinely are, but there are a grouping of people that are kind of looking at you as like, oh, they think they're better than me, and like, you know, projecting basically because they, for whatever reason, don't feel worthy enough to pursue their own version of that. Obviously everyone has their own reasons why they don't. So ignore those people. I don't know why I'm being asked to talk about this. Okay, so you know how like they say, if you wouldn't want to be in someone's place, don't take their advice. I think that depends. I think it depends on like how limited you see them being with themselves. Like, are they limiting themselves and the people around them? It's not necessarily if you would want to live their life, because I think everyone has their own version of what they think a well-lived life is. It's, are they being genuine to who they are? And I think we can just like all learn something from each other. So maybe you'll be running into somebody here that will give you some actual valuable advice about how you can move forth in this new career or this new idea that you have. Maybe this is you turning a hobby into something that's really valuable to other people and especially to yourself. Something that after this period of time where you were depleted of your own self-truth, it's like nourishing you. I actually got this message for pile number 2, I think. The sun is unlimited energy until it goes out, of course, right? But it's like you're being given this energy back after a period of time of being really depleted. When you were learning your lessons, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. But now that you're out of it, Spirit wants to give you a source of something that will like really, like gas you up. Like it'll make you feel good. It'll make you feel abundant and whimsical and just like the world is magical again, because that's who you were before all of this happened. And maybe you forgot. Maybe you lost a little bit of yourself when you were going through this situation. That tends to happen. Two of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Anything else about finances and career, Spirit? For the end of 2024? I feel like you're gonna be... Okay, so this is right below that past message that we got in the very beginning, was you're gonna want to go really quickly towards this thing. Because you're almost gonna think, oh my goodness, if I don't go towards this thing quickly now, the door is gonna close and I'll never have access to it ever again. But that also comes from being around people that are very deliberately, like they constantly think about like how they could take from you, so you kind of end up like guarding what it is that you have that's abundant. And you're having a hard time getting away from this. So like for the end of 2024, maybe you're going to be working on this perception of like what other people are thinking as you grow in your finances and career and start to really subtly change in a way very quickly. But also you're going to be getting used to the fact that it's like there's no one coming after you. There's no one coming to take things from you. And it's this struggle also to keep that momentum and understand that no one's coming after you, like without feeling bored. Because this is like, I get the analogy of like when you have like a healthy relationship. Some people say that you get bored when you're in a healthy relationship versus when you're in like a really chaotic and like awful relationship. I'm really happy that I've never gone through that, but like the part where it feels boring, because I have been in a chaotic relationship and then right after I was in a really healthy one. But maybe this is what it's like right now. You're going through like chaos and then into like calm, and it's gonna feel like such like a difference that you're gonna struggle with these emotions around that of like, oh, there's nothing chasing me. Okay, this is what's my motivation then? So you're gonna have to dig down and find the motivation from within you, from a very deep and ancient place. Think back to when you were a kid. Think back to a time where you could only dream of doing what it is that you're doing now, or having access to doing right now. Okay, so that's your career and finances. That was a long one. And let's do health now. So your health for 2024. 2024, the rest of 2024. Pile number 3. Spirit, could you please tell me about 2024 for pile number 3? I'll grab that in a second. 2024, could you please give me information for pile number 3 for their health? I think that's it. Okay, so let's go with 2 here. Okay, so just give me a moment. Sorry, I was just checking something. So 2024, the rest of 2024 is going to look like you kind of seem like you're gonna be working on a lot of things and successfully working on things that maybe you didn't have the chance to work on earlier on in the year for whatever reason. Maybe you were too stressed out, but there's going to be like a period of time there where you'll be able to schedule out, or maybe you'll make time to schedule out appointments, different kinds of like routines that you want to start doing. Maybe you'll start going to the gym, and it's gonna, for whatever reason, it's gonna start feeling enjoyable for you because you're now this new person. You're gonna be stepping into like a different type of person. Like you're gonna be embodying yourself a lot more. You're gonna be connected to your body more, is what I'm trying to say. Let me just check my candle real quick. I know it was getting to the bottom. I made this candle, so it's kind of... I'm just gonna put it out. It's getting too close to the bottom. Sorry about that. Okay, so you're definitely going to be embodying more of who it is that you are. And I also see you here saying no to things that you know you shouldn't be doing. So like maybe you're going to be setting like a new goal for the rest of 2024. Maybe I don't want to drink anymore, or I want to limit the amount that I drink. Maybe for the end of 2024 I want to not eat so many chips. My example would be that. I love chips. But like, everyone has their own like thing that they consume too much of. Maybe you're going to be drinking more water, or going on more walks. But there's going to be a lot of internal battles that you're going to win. And it's going to feel easy now that you're trying more. And that sounds kind of bad, but it's not like you weren't trying before, but maybe you were just like on autopilot. You were just doing things because you always did them. And it could have also been like a coping mechanism when you were having to constantly think. Sometimes we would want to just like turn our brains off, and I know that comfort eating is a thing. I do tend to revert to that, like comfort eating. So maybe you won't be comfort eating as much. Anything else? You're going to be diving into your emotions for the end of 2024. You're really going to be releasing a lot of things and experiencing this true freedom that comes along with accepting situations for what they are. And using that energy as motivation to reach your goals and like become tougher. There's this like seriousness that I'm feeling right now, like yeah, let's go after our goals. That's you for 2024. You're like, yeah, let's set some goals, let's go after our goals. Turn on our favorite like motivational playlist and blast it up while I'm going for a run. I get that so hard with the Magician and the Five of Wands in reverse. There's like, it's like upright, it's like they're playing right, but then in reverse they're like going at it like really hard. So you can be like really competitive. You could enter into like something very competitive that will motivate you in order to like help with your health. So you could be going into like a public space or joining some sort of group where everybody they have the same goal. So like a long time ago I used to longboard. This is an example. And I used to longboard by myself for a little bit until I got bored of just doing it alone. And so I joined a longboarding girls group. And so then I started to longboard with a bunch of girls, and I learned so much when I was around them. And it was really inspiring because, you know, they had all these skills that I didn't have, and we kind of got a little bit competitive because, oh, this girl knows how to do this thing, and this girl can do like kick flips and stuff that none of the longboarding chicks can do, you know? So like maybe it's that kind of thing where you're gonna be entering, there's so much joy here. Like I feel like there's gonna be a lot of release, a lot of joy for you with your health, a lot of like feeling young again and powerful, like really just powerful boss bitch energy. Like maybe you're a female, maybe you're male, whatever, twist it into your situation how it works. You know, you're going to be feeling very powerful for the rest of 2024, physically, mentally. I definitely feel like there's a lot of really good stuff coming for you for the rest of 2024. And I forgot to do this for pile number 2, but let's get a final message for pile number 3. Painful memories. Yeah, and you're putting those in the past. You're going to be putting those in the past because that's where they belong. It's just fertile soil for you to plant new seeds on, to, you know, understand yourself better. And I get that at times, like at the end of this year, it is going to be a little overwhelming to think back at these relationships that could have been, because I do feel like a little bit of like you wanted to have this relationship and it just kind of not fizzled out, but it came to like a conclusive ending because it had to. And you know, there's nothing that you can really do about that. If someone is being awful towards you, like you kind of just have to end it. And what could I say? I think that's it. I think that's what I got. Okay, well, if this is where I leave you, have a good morning, good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this reading. Okay, bye!